you are going to accept input and output. So first we'll see output. First we'll see output. So you have a class called as system. So there are two things: system.out, system.in, system.err. So system.out is used for output. System.in is used for input. System.err is used to indicate the errors in IO. Indicate the errors in IO. So in performing input, IO means input output operation. So now we are going to actual programming. How I can take input to my Java program, how I can display output in the Java program. First we'll see output, input afterwards we'll see. So first if you go to output, you have a class called system.out. We have three stream classes. Stream means it is a flow of data. System.out indicates output. System.in indicates input. System.err indicates the errors that occur during input and output. Okay, so now we are not much concentrated on these things. First we'll go to system.out. So system is a class. So another very important thing I forgot to tell, Java uses a notation called as Hungarian notation. Hungarian notation. Java notation uses Hungarian notation. There is another name for this also. I'll recall and tell you tomorrow again. Hungarian notation. What is that notation? Is class name. Remember, very important. Class means class name will always start with capital letter. First letter will be capital. First letter will be capital. If you are using a class name, first letter of capital will always be capital. So this is system is a class. The first letter is capital. Is that right? So next one is, if you are having a method name, the first letter will be small always. Small. The first letter will be small always. Okay, we'll see in this. So now method means first letter will be small, but after that, if there are any letters, the first letter will be capital. Suppose I have a method like this, toString. This is a method in Java. For example, I'm saying this is small. Subsequent letters, first letter will be capital. If I'm getting another word, toString sample something, means S will be small. Subsequent letters, first letter will be capital. This is the notation that is followed in Java. All classes, first letter is capital. Methods, first letter is small. Subsequent words, first letter will be capital. That is the notation followed in Java. Remember it. So now there is another name for Hungarian notation. I'll tell you later. So now system.out. System is a class. Out is a subsequent object in that class. On the class inside of this system class, we have a subclass called out. Now in this we have two methods. One is called print method. Very important. Print method. See, method is small. P is small. Print is used to display the output. Output and cursor remains in the same position. Okay, how to use it? For example, system dot out dot print. This is the way I had to use system dot out dot print. So now I say hello. Okay, now every statement in Java must end with semicolon, similar to what you are doing in your C programming. Every statement must end with semicolon. It is the same. So now what happens is, in the output, hello will be displayed, but my cursor will be here only. Cursor will be here only. Okay. So that is first method. So go to the second method. Second method is print ln. ln stands for new line. So what happens is, after printing, it is not before printing. After printing, cursor goes to the new line. Cursor goes to the new line. After printing, the cursor goes to the new line. Okay. So now, if you see the same example, if I say system dot, I'll erase this. After printing, the cursor goes to the next line. System dot out dot print ln. I'm giving ln. So now if I say hello, now what happens is in the output, hello will be displayed, but cursor will move to the next line. Cursor moves to the next line, but here cursor remains here only. That is the main difference. System.out.print, after printing, cursor remains in the same line. Here, after printing, cursor goes to the next line. So now one more point that you have to remember here is your /n/t, whatever you are used in C language, you can use inside of this. There is no problem. Is that right? So now let's see. We'll see one example. See, I have int a is equal to 10. Okay, I want to display it. So you suppose system dot out dot println. I'm giving a. The way a value will be displayed. Okay, but I want in the output a is equal to 10. I want in this fashion. So in that case, what is that you have to do is system dot out dot println double quotes a equal to, and you have to give a plus symbol a. See, in C language you used comma. Here you have to use plus symbol. Why? Because if you don't have double quotes, no need of plus symbol. I gave directly value here, value gets displayed. But whenever you give double quotes, whenever compiler starts with the first double quotes, it will search for the ending double quotes. Whenever it reaches ending double quotes, it thinks that its job is over, I need not display anything, and it will stop. So that's why what we do is we'll add a plus symbol so that compiler will proceed to know that there is something else to print after the end of the double quotes. That's why we use plus symbol. If you are using single variable directly, you need not use any plus. If you are using double quotes, there's something, then you have to use compulsorily plus symbol. Suppose if I have another value b equal to suppose 20. Here I want to display b. If I give a plus b, both the things will get added. So that's why what we do is we'll give double quotes plus double quotes. That means you'll get a space. Then plus b. Okay. Each and every continuation you have to add plus symbol. How you added comma in your C programming. If you are printing in your C programming, what you do? Printf %d a comma b comma c. You are giving comma. In similar way, here you have to use plus symbol and you have to give that. So this is what about system.out.println and system.out.print. Okay. So how to take input we'll see later. We'll directly go to the structure of Java program. Structure of Java program. Okay. 5 to 10 minutes I'll end. Structure of Java program. So the first one is package statement, import statement, import statement, class or interface definition, main class definition. Okay, this is the main structure of your. Okay, you can write a documentation. Documentation you can do somewhere. You can write a documentation section somewhere. I'll add at the beginning. So you can add documentation section. Documentation section. Okay. So documentation section, package statement, import statement, class or interface definition, main class definition. So now documentation section is nothing but giving comments. So multiple line comments, same as C, there is no difference, same as C and C++. Multi-line comments you'll give like this. Single line comment you'll give double slash. So that is called documentation section. What is the purpose of documentation section is it tells what you are doing in this program. What is the main purpose of the program? Who is the author of the program? At what time it is written? and what is the version of the software that you have used. These things they generally put in the documentation section. What time you wrote this program, what is the main purpose of the program, what is the version of the software that you have used. If you want, you can write who is the author of the program. So these details you can include in the documentation section. Okay, so it is not compulsory, it is optional, it is your wish. So now the second one is package statement. So in C and C++ you had header files. Similar way here we have packages. The same header files here we'll call it as packages. Is that right? So the same thing. So this is used for creating user-defined packages. We use this later on. We'll discuss at this point. We cannot discuss this concept. So this is used for creating your own package. If you want to create your own package, this you'll use. Second one is import statement. Import is nothing but same as your hash include. So hash include, how you are including a header file into your program. Similar way you can import a package into your program. Import statement is used for importing package. The syntax is like this: import package name dot star. Import package name dot star. This is one syntax. Another syntax is import package name dot class name. These are the two syntaxes. See, import is the keyword. Package name is the package name which you want to import. Always the package names are small letters. So package name which you want to import, dot star. What does the dot star indicate is the package is nothing but it is going to contain different classes, methods and everything. So now whenever I say dot star, it will include all the classes in that particular package. So now if we come here, package name dot class name I given, here only this class will be included. Only this class name, whichever you are given, that class only will be included in your program. It does not include all the classes. So whichever you need, you can go. If you want to include all the classes, dot star. If you want to include only specific class, you can go with it. So one, we'll see different packages. One is java.lang. What are the packages? We'll see java.lang. Java.lang is a language package. Language package. So if you are importing, how you have to import? Import java.lang.star. Package name is java.lang. So how you have to import package name dot star. Import java.lang.star. This is how you have to import. So now this is language support package. That is all your Java language features are included in this package. So this is the only package which will be included by default by your Java compiler or Java runtime system, even if you don't import it. You did not import this package, but this package will be included by default. You need not include this. Even this is the only package which will be included like this. By default, it will be included because Java needs this package to implement the features of Java. That's why it will include. So another very important few packages, we'll see example and afterwards we'll end. So the second one is java.io. The package name is java.io. So you can understand what is the purpose of it. It is used for input output. IO stands for input output package. So similarly, you have very important package. This is the package which is used most commonly in industry. Industry nariya use pandra package vandu java.util. Util stands for utility package. So utility package means you have all the utility functionalities in this. Date, time, you want to represent all those things. Data structures related packages, everything are there in the util package. So the most commonly used package by industry or most frequently used package by industry is java.util package. Similarly, you have java.net. .NET indicates networking package. So networking, if you are using any concepts where you want to implement the applications which are related to networking, we'll use java.net. Is that right? So networking package. Is that right? So this is how we are going to include the package. Okay. So the next the next part is class definition, class or interface definition. We said so. Your Java program contains at least one class, and that is called main class. Your Java program contains at least one class, that is called main class. Other than main class, you can have subsequent classes that will call it as classes or interfaces. That class definitions you have to write here. That class definitions you have to write here. So main class you have to write. What is main class is, see, a class which contains the main method. You have seen in your C program, your C program is having a main method. So similarly in Java also we have a main method. So that is called a main class. A class which contains a class which contains a class which contains a class which contains main method is called as a, so class name. So this is the syntax, class name. Here you have public static void main string args of this. So this is the syntax of your main class. Very, very, very important. Okay, I will tell the usage of this each and every keywords. You already know void main or simply main. But what is this? What is this? And what is this? We'll see later. If possible today or tomorrow. So it is public static void main string args. Is that right? So now you already know main method. So see, everything is written in a class in Java. Nothing should be written outside of the class. Class kulla ellame elduno. Either it is a method or a variable or anything, you should write inside of the class only. You cannot write anything outside of the class. Class ku velila vandu eludha mudiyadhu. Class is a keyword. C is small. Class is a keyword. Class name is nothing but user defined name. User defined name. So wherever you get user defined names, you have to follow the identifier rules. Wherever you get user defined names, you have to follow the identifier rules. So class name is user defined name. Public static void main string args. See, I'll tell the usage of this keyword. See, normally what happens is, if you are written anything inside of the class, if you are accessing, so this program must be run by the Java compiler. Java compiler in the program access panno. Java compiler has to access this program. So whenever it wants to access, Java compiler is not inside of your program. The word public means it can be accessed by everyone. Public says it is a public property. Public property means public property. Everyone is going to use. So there are three keywords: public, private, protected. Okay, at present you know these two, rest afterwards we'll see. Public means it can be accessed anywhere. Private means it can be accessed only class kulla da access panna mudiyum, velila access panna mudiyadhu. So later on we'll see this. It should be this is called access specifiers. These are on the access specifiers. So now why we made it as public means, because Java compiler is an outsider one. It is trying to access this method. It is not defined inside of your class. It is an outsider one. Or outsider one in the method access panna idu kandipa public ah irukanum. If you make it as private, it cannot be accessed. So your program will not execute. That's why we'll make it as public. Okay. The keyword static is class la irukra members vandu two types. One vandu static, another is instance. Static means it can be accessed without creating object. Object create panama access pannalam. So we don't create object for the main class. We don't create the object for the main class. That's why we make it as static. In detail, when we go to the next topics, we'll discuss this. Okay. So this is what what is the purpose of this one is string args is for command line arguments. Command line la vandu command called access specifier. Access specifier. So which tells which part of the program you can access. So I gave you just a small note: public, private, protected. Okay, these are the three keywords. So at present, I told you to remember these two only because we are at the starting state. So public means you can access anywhere. Private means within the class only you can access. Outside of the class you cannot access. See, that's what we discussed at the beginning. Object-oriented programming purpose itself is to provide security for the data. So that's what we can provide security by using these three access specifiers. Okay, so static I said because without using class, without using object, you have to access the main class. So normally for main class we don't create the object, so that's why we make it as static. As a separate topic, again we'll discuss about these keywords in detail. So this is used for command line arguments. So that we'll see later. So now I will show you a demo of a small program, how to implement it and how the bytecode is generated. So now I'll show you a demo of the code. So I'll write a small program. Okay, I'm writing the program name as sample. Okay, I hope the screen is visible. Are you fine with the font on the screen? Okay, so I increase the font. See, the normal notation is, as I told you yesterday, Java follows a notation. So first letter must be capital. So the package that we use is java.lang.star is the package. So here I can write the comments. If it is a multi-line comment, I have to use /star, or single line comment, I can use /. So it is a sample program to display a message. I just wrote a sample program. So now you see here system.out.println, I gave hello world. So now whenever I save this program, I should save with the main class name only. Main class name is sample. Main class name is sample. Once again. So main class name is, you can see here the main class name is sample. So with that name only you have to save. Is it fine? With the same name you have to save. So you should not save with different names. If it is small, if it should be always capital letter. So I should save with sample.java. Okay, .java by default it will take. If you want, you can use the extension .java. Is it fine? So now this is over. I have wrote a program. So this is my class. Since the class contains public static void main method, this is called the main class. The program name should always be saved with main class name. That's why I saved it as sample.java. So now you have to go to command line argument. So now you have to compile the program. For compilation, I told you yesterday the command is javac. So javac sample.java. Is that right? So it says program not found. I have put it in another folder. So now I give the command javac sample.java. My program gets executed. It says there is some error. So I gave the package name as wrong. So java.lang. It's not lang, it is lang. So now if I run it, if I compile it, so I did not get any message. That means my program got compiled successfully. So now what I do is, Now it is your interpretation. Before we go to that, what is that we said yesterday? See, your Java is platform independent because of bytecode. So now you see here, this is a backup file, you remove it. I have a program called java.sample. I have a program called java.sample. That is my actual program. But now I have a program called, sample.java is the program that I have written. Now I got a program called sample.class. Whatever name I give .java, the same .class file will be converted. So this is the file which is platform independent. You can open it and see this is called bytecode. This is your bytecode which we cannot understand. This is your bytecode. So this bytecode is platform independent. This bytecode, this .class file I can take anywhere and I can run it any mission. So now my lab configuration is, it is Windows 10, Windows mission. Now I can take this program and I can run this .class file in any other platform. It can be Linux or it can be any other platform. In any other platform I can run it. So that is called platform independent. So now I'll say Java space sample. This is your compiler. This is your interpreter. First I have compiled, the second I have interpreted. Java sample. So I got the output hello world. You can see here, I got the output hello world. So now my cursor has moved to the next line. If you remove your println, if I write only print, my cursor remains in the same line. If I give println, it goes to the next line. So first I will compile again. Then whenever you make any changes, you have to compile and then run it. So now you see here you had one line space. After hello world, you are having one line space here. But here there is no space. So println